Welcome to your Daily Writing Habit, episode number 207. If you are writing a book or thinking about it, or maybe you've started writing your book and are having trouble finishing it, or perhaps you're at the stage where you need help reaching more readers to let them know about your book, you are in the right place. Good morning. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh, also known as Christine Inc., I-N-K, if you're looking for me online. Each day I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 18 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that three things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and they have the ability to turn a quote-unquote non-author into one. They are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's quote. "The man who writes about himself and his own time is the only man who writes about all people and all time." George Bernard Shaw. All right, well, let's talk writing fundamentals today, because building rapport with your readers and keeping them engaged throughout your book is one of the most powerful things you will ever do as an author. Holding your readers' attention from beginning to end not only creates an awesome reader experience for them, but it also increases the odds that they'll tell other people how awesome your book is. You know, like people do on social media, and everybody's like, what are you reading? What's the last great book you read? Constant questions. Imagine if your book was the one that people are talking about. So the first step to doing that is holding your readers' attention and making sure that they get through the entire book. So here are my strategies for earning and holding your readers' attention. The first one, story. This is the one that I talk about 99% of the time. When in doubt, tell a story, because telling stories is your best go-to writing tool. It's how we learn and process things and remember things as human beings. So when in doubt about how to make your point, or maybe explain a complicated concept, or anything to do with your content, rather than over-explaining and possibly confusing your readers, tell a story instead. We human beings learn through stories. This is a proven fact over and over again. Strategy number 2 to build rapport with your readers. Failures. Share your failures, mistakes, and vulnerabilities in as much emotional detail as you feel comfortable with, even if it feels, a little uncomfortable. The universal truth is everyone can relate to making mistakes, getting stuck in some mistakes, and learning from others. Admitting your shortcomings is one of the strongest ways to connect with your readers. It really, it sends the message, I'm one of you. I'm not superhuman. I'm just sharing the things that I've learned from life with you, and failure is a part of life. And the final one is universal truths. Now, there are certain universal truths that as human beings we can all relate to. As a result, these can be powerful premises for stories. Even if readers don't consciously realize it, their minds are naturally drawn to the familiarity of these truths. Think of common, quote-unquote plot formulas that you see in movies and television over and over again, like Romeo and Juliet. How many times has that been used on like every TV show and every movie ever? Robin Hood, underdogs coming out on top, triumph over extreme obstacles. Those formulas work because they are based on universal truths. So today, and also in tomorrow's episode, I am going to dig deep into some universal truths that you can use in your stories to bond with your readers. So here's today's set. First one is parenting. Parenting is a universal truth because that's how we're all here. We have parents who created us. So whether the perspective of your story is from being someone's child, or maybe it's raising your own children, the timeless concept of human beings shaping the lives of other human beings is a potential chemistry lab of human behavior experiments. Pick a theme, whether from your own life, something you heard from someone else, or a what-if question in your head, and use it as a parenting premise for your story. So, what if mom was this? What if mom and dad did this? What if, you were raised by parents that blank? So kind of fill in the blanks and, find a premise that works for your story. That's a universal truth. Parenting. The next one is stress. This is pretty self-explanatory, especially for authors, right? We all go through stress. I mean, stress is a scientific concept that occurs in nature, and as human beings, we are definitely a part of nature. We, are kind of atomic and all those things. I'm not going to get into all that, but, stress is something that happens when change happens, and change happens constantly. So, how people deal with stress, emotional and physical and mental and spiritual and, all the different types of stress that occur. always a great premise, always a great way, if you're looking as a fiction author, how to create change in one of your characters, to kind of create a character arc of, your character is a certain person at the beginning of the story, but by the end they have changed in a very fundamental way, and they're a different type of person, or maybe one of their personality traits has changed. Well, stress is a fantastic and pretty, obvious catalyst for making those personality changes happen. So when you're looking at how am I going to get my characters to change, or if you're a memoir author, how did you change over the course of your life? Look at the stressors. Look at the stressors in your life and how they ended up being catalysts for change in you. So be sure and tune in tomorrow for even more universal truths for grabbing your reader's attention and keeping it throughout the book so they'll recommend your book to others when they're done. Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I'm helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. And be sure and drop by Ink Authors on Facebook and also now on LinkedIn. Those are my author groups where lots of motivation and accountability and book writing and publishing. And on my Ink Authors on LinkedIn, there is a great thread now for those of you doing NaNoWriMo. I hope I pronounced that right. The National November, the writing month where you have 30 days to write 55,000 words, I believe it is. So there's a NaNoWriMo thread on in my Ink Authors group on LinkedIn for those of you who are a part of that and you need some extra support and you can commiserate with your fellow, am I going to try to say NaNoWriMo? Go ahead and visit us on LinkedIn, Ink Authors, the Ink Authors group on LinkedIn. And if you know anyone who's writing a book, please let them know about Your Daily Writing Habit. Until tomorrow, happy writing.